I believe that Rockstar Games is screwing up by killing online support for Red Dead Redemption 2. I know this topic has already been brought up and talked about by other YouTubers recently, but I wanted to add my voice to the discussion because Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my favorite games, and it's heartbreaking to watch Rockstar abandon it like this. Rockstar wants to act like they've given Red Dead Online the constant support and updates it deserves, and they want to act like they're only now cutting support for Red Dead. But I would argue that the last meaningful DLC update for Red Dead Redemption 2 Online was the Moonshiners DLC from over 2 years ago. The Naturalist role had big potential, but it felt half-finished upon release, both in the stories between Gus and Harriet, along with the Animal Collection book that came with the role. The DLCs that released after the Naturalist role all felt like cheap copy-and-paste stranger missions. Sure, Call to Arms were fun, and Telegram missions being free to start up, even for new players, were both good additions to the game. But overall, most of the DLCs over the past 2 years have felt like filler content with no real soul or longevity to them. Despite all of this, Red Dead has managed to keep a loyal and devoted fan base who have kept on playing, despite the filler content. Even with everything going on, or lack thereof, players have kept coming back to this game because it is still one of the most beautiful, immersive, and technically advanced cowboy games out there. No other game depicts the harsh realities and beauty of frontier life as well as both Red Dead Redemption games do, in my opinion, and I'm sure some of you can agree. I can only assume that's why so many of us were drawn to the game in the first place, even in the early days when there was nothing to really do other than fish and hunt. We all kept coming back to online in hopes that Rockstar would give us the full potential that this couple $1 million game holds and deserves, just like they do with GTA 5. But instead, we got this. After almost a year of silence from Rockstar, and after almost 2 years of waiting for any meaningful new DLC, Red Dead fans were instead slapped in the face with this, and swept off to the side again, so that Rockstar can focus on more GTA content. And to clarify for all of the GTA fans, most Red Dead players are not mad that GTA is still getting new updates. Hell, a lot of Red Dead players also play GTA 5, myself included, so GTA 5 getting updates is not the issue here. The issue is, we're mad that Rockstar's neglected and forgotten Red Dead to only focus on GTA 5. They promised so much to us for Red Dead Online, and it had so much potential, but instead of at least communicating with us, we were just left red and dead in the dust. The Save Red Dead Online hashtag from over the past year was made to remind Rockstar that Red Dead still has a large player base just waiting for new content, to remind them that despite their lack of communication and acknowledgement of the problems, that we would be heard. In the end, they did hear us, but instead of fixing or adding anything new, they chose to ignore our pleas and spit straight in our faces. Look, I get it. Not as many people are playing Red Dead Online as they are GTA 5. That's just facts. But that doesn't mean that Rockstar should just give up on the game. The lack in player count is only due to Rockstar's lack of new content, and the lack in gold bar sales, again, comes back to Rockstar's lack of new content. If Rockstar wants more gold bar sales, then the answer is obvious and right in front of their faces. Release more and better content that make people want to buy gold bars. You see, Red Dead just needs Rockstar to treat it like it's GTA 5. Now, before Red Dead fans get mad at me, I'm not saying that Rockstar should add in the Flying Horse Oppressor Mark III with added Gatling lasers for 100 gold bars. But there are other ways for them to add in cool new things that make them money still, without going over the top and breaking the realism too much. Look at Red Dead 1 as an example. They had unicorns, bison, zebras, and even more unique animals that you could buy, but there were no added benefits from riding them because they were all just cosmetic. If having a unicorn in Red Dead upsets you because it's not realistic, I'd like to remind you that your character carries around a portable camera, a small one-handed metal detector, along with guns that weren't even made yet. Red Dead already broke its own realism long ago, and I personally believe that it would benefit more from breaking it more often. For another example of things they could do with Red Dead, look at the newest GTA 5 DLC. The DLC overall is pretty basic on face value, but because fan-favorite story mode character Franklin is back, and because Dr. Dre is involved, both new and old players are drawn into GTA 5 because of the new DLC. Why not do something similar for Red Dead? Why not hire a famous actor, musician, or comedian to play a new fictional character made for the Red Dead world and then throw them in a DLC? On that same note, why not just bring back a major voice actor from the story mode to reprise their role in online, since the Red Dead Online story takes place before the single-player story? I'm sure that players would love to receive missions from Arthur, or to start a business with one of the other Vanderlyn gang members. If Rockstar doesn't want to spend money on voice actors and cameos, though, why not at least allow us to buy things that are already in the game? Why can't I buy a boat or a hot air balloon in Red Dead Online? The assets and mechanics are there already. What about more wagons, or adding in bicycles and early cars? What about houses, more gambling games? Or lastly, where is a Guarma DLC? You mean to tell me that Rockstar spent weeks, if not months, working on making this beautiful island that we only ever see in one mission in the story mode? I mean, you could argue they did the same thing with North Yankton in GTA 5, but either way, my point still stands that it's absurd to not use assets you already have and spend time making. My point of this section is that Red Dead has tons of money-making potential for Rockstar. They're either just choosing not to work on it, or maybe it's hard to work on due to last-gen limitations. I don't know. Either way, they've made it pretty clear that they're cutting support for Red Dead Online, and that personally makes me sad when I look at all the potential that is still there. Not just the potential things I mentioned already, but there are so many other things that could easily help bring this game back to life. New roles like they promised us, or even finishing the online story that was left on a cliffhanger would be great starts. I think that leaving Red Dead 2 in the dust when they've already spent millions to make it, the game has a devoted fan base, and so much more for future potential DLC, it just makes zero sense to me. Unless they're waiting an extra year or two to announce the enhanced next-gen version of Red Dead 2, where they make us buy it all over again like they did with GTA 5 for the past 2 console upgrades. I mean, part of me would understand having to wait for Red Dead Redemption 2 Enhanced Edition on the next gens, if Rockstar at least communicated these things instead of just leaving their game communities in the dark all of the time. I've heard rumors, and I don't know how accurate they are because, again, they're rumors, but I've read one or two articles that have said that Rockstar has canceled working on their new Bully sequel and all of the remakes they were planning so that they can focus on GTA 6, which, if that is the case, then why? Do you really want to rely on one game to keep your company afloat? I know it sounds absolutely crazy to say now, but who's to say that some new crime game won't come out sometime between now and GTA 6 that completely blows GTA fans out of the water? What then? We don't know what the future holds, and as far as I know, neither does Rockstar, but it makes sense to me not to put all your eggs in one basket. I'm done ranting and giving my thoughts, but I just want to end this video off by asking Rockstar, if you are going to abandon everything to only focus on GTA 6, then why not hire another company to work on your other titles in the meantime? Why not try hiring another company to update Red Dead 2, or another company to finish Bully 2 before you completely abandon your other titles? Or if nothing else, please get better at communicating with your communities, because the more you abandon your games and players, Rockstar, the more your players will abandon you. Thanks for listening to my opinion, and have a good rest of your day, folks.
From me in due course, but first, you will need to prove yourself. If you don't want to start now, you can find me again, and the offer will still be there. What is it to be? This could be the start of a long and interesting journey.